The story of Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin. Since it was created in 2009, Bitcoin has experienced significant highs and lows. In the past year, the currency has risen over 400%. Bitcoin is considered the top cryptocurrency in the world by market value, but there's still plenty of mystery surrounding its creation. Who came up with Bitcoin? Was it created by more than one person? And who is Satoshi Nakamoto? In 2008, the first inklings of Bitcoin began to circulate the web. In August 2008, the domain name bitcoin.org was registered online. 2 months later, a paper entitled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, was passed around a cryptography mailing list. The paper is the first instance of the mysterious figure, Satoshi Nakamoto's appearance on the web, and permanently links the name Satoshi Nakamoto to the cryptocurrency. On January 3, 2009, 30,000 lines of code spelled out the beginning of Bitcoin. Bitcoin runs through an autonomous software program that is mined by people seeking Bitcoin in a lottery-based system. Over the course of the next 20 years, a total of 21 million coins will be released. To date, about 18.5 million have been mined. Satoshi Nakamoto didn't work entirely alone. Among Bitcoin's earliest enthusiasts was Hal Finney, a console game developer and an early member of the cypherpunk movement who discovered Nakamoto's proposal for Bitcoin through the cryptocurrency mailing list. In a blog post from 2013, Finney said he was fascinated by the idea of a decentralized online currency. When Nakamoto announced the software's release, Finney offered to mine the first coins, 10 original Bitcoins from Block 70, which Satoshi sent over as a test. Of his interactions with Nakamoto, Finney says, "I thought I was dealing with a young man of Japanese ancestry who was very smart and sincere. I've had the good fortune to know many brilliant people over the course of my life, so I recognize the signs." Finney has flatly denied any claims that he was the inventor of Bitcoin and has always maintained his involvement in the currency was only ever secondary. In 2014, Finney died of the neurodegenerative disease ALS. In one of his final posts on a Bitcoin forum, he said Satoshi Nakamoto's true identity still remained a mystery to him. Finney says he was proud of his legacy involving Bitcoin, and that his cache of Bitcoins were stored in an offline wallet, left as part of an inheritance to his family. "Hopefully, they'll be worth something to my heirs," he wrote. As of today, 1 Bitcoin is worth around $38,000. Nearly a year later, Bitcoin is slowly on its way to becoming a viable currency. In 2010, a handful of merchants started accepting Bitcoin in lieu of established currencies. One of the first tangible items ever purchased with the cryptocurrency was a pizza. Today, the amount of Bitcoin used to purchase those pizzas is valued at $60 million. The cryptocurrency began attracting interest from tech elites, as well. In 2012, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss purchased $10 million worth of Bitcoin, and, in less than a year their investment had more than tripled. It's been estimated the Winklevoss twins own 1% of all available Bitcoin. In 2011, the Silk Road, an online marketplace for illegal drugs, launched. It used Bitcoin as its chief form of currency. Bitcoin is inherently traceless, a quality that made it the ideal currency for facilitating drug trade on the burgeoning internet black market. It was the equivalent of digital cash, a self-governing system of commerce that preserved the anonymity of its owner. With Bitcoin, anyone could take to the Silk Road and purchase cannabis seeds, LSD, and cocaine without revealing their identities. And the benefit wasn't entirely one-sided, either. In some ways, the drug trafficking site legitimized Bitcoin as a means of commerce, even if it was only being used to facilitate illicit trade. 2 years later, the mysterious figure known as Satoshi Nakamoto disappeared from the web. On April 23, 2011, Nakamoto sent Bitcoin Core developer Mike Hearn a brief email. "I've moved on to other things," he said, referring to the Bitcoin project. "The future of Bitcoin," he wrote, "was in good hands." In his wake, Nakamoto left behind a vast collection of writings, a premise on the workings of Bitcoin, and the most influential cryptocurrency ever created. Who is this Japanese-American guy named Satoshi Nakamoto? Google Satoshi Nakamoto and the results will lead you straight to image after image of an elderly Asian man. This is Dorian S. Nakamoto, named Satoshi Nakamoto at birth. He is almost 70 years old, lives in Los Angeles with his mother, and, as he has reminded people hundreds of times, is not the creator of Bitcoin. In 2014, Newsweek reporter Leah Goodman published a feature story pinning the identity of Bitcoin's creator on Nakamoto due to his high-profile work in engineering and pointedly private personal life. Following the story's immediate release, Nakamoto was dogged by reporters, who trailed him as he drove to a sushi restaurant. Nakamoto told a journalist from the Associated Press that he had only heard of Bitcoin weeks earlier, when Goodman had contacted him about the Newsweek story. 2 weeks later, he issued a statement to Newsweek, stating he did not create, invent or otherwise work on Bitcoin. Dorian Nakamoto's claim was corroborated by the actual Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto a day later, with Satoshi's username mysteriously surfacing in an online forum to post, "I am not Dorian Nakamoto." The Craig Wright controversy. In 2016, Australian entrepreneur Craig Wright claimed to be the creator of Bitcoin and provided disputed code as proof. Bitcoin developer Gavin Andresen further corroborated Wright's gesture, saying he was 98% certain that Wright was the pseudonymous Nakamoto. But others were quick to disagree, and Wright's claim drew fierce skepticism from the cryptocurrency community online as well as alleged interest from the FBI. Amid the sudden influx of scrutiny, Wright deleted his post and issued a cryptic apology. "I'm sorry," he wrote, "I believe that I could put the years of anonymity and hiding behind me. But, as the events of this week unfolded and I prepared to publish the proof of access to the earliest keys, I broke. I do not have the courage." Nick Szabo has been repeatedly identified as the creator of Bitcoin, a claim he denies. In the course of determining the identity of Nakamoto, there's one person who has been thumbed again and again, hyper-secretive cryptocurrency expert Nick Szabo, who was not only fundamental to the development of Bitcoin, but also created his own cryptocurrency called BitGold in the late 90s. In 2014, a team of linguistic researchers studied Nakamoto's writings alongside those of 13 potential Bitcoin creators. The results, they said, were indisputable. The number of linguistic similarities between Szabo's writing and the Bitcoin white paper is uncanny, the researchers reported. None of the other possible authors were anywhere near as good of a match. A story in the New York Times pegged Szabo as Bitcoin's creator, as well. Szabo, a staunch libertarian who has spoken publicly about the history of Bitcoin and blockchain technology, has been involved in cryptocurrency since its earliest beginnings. Szabo firmly denied these claims, both in the New York Times story and in a tweet, "Not Satoshi, but thank you." Here's how the real Satoshi Nakamoto could prove his identity. He could use his PGP key. A PGP key is a unique encryption program associated with a given user's name, similar to an online signature. Nakamoto could attach his to a post or a message indicating his identity. He could move his Bitcoin. Nakamoto has amassed a fortune in Bitcoin. He's thought to possess over 1 million coins, which today would be valued in excess of $1 billion. Theoretically, Nakamoto could move those coins to a different address. Dorian Nakamoto, Nick Szabo, and Craig Wright aren't the only ones who have been pinned as the inventor of Bitcoin. There's a laundry list of people who have been pegged with this claim, but so far, they've all been struck down. Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk has been accused of being Bitcoin's creator, a theory he adamantly denied in 2018. The Wikipedia entry on Satoshi Nakamoto names at least 13 potential candidates as being responsible for the creation of Bitcoin. It's been over a decade since Bitcoin's creation, and we're still not any closer to confirming who invented it. If Satoshi Nakamoto hasn't revealed himself by now, it's unlikely we'll ever know who is. So that is about Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin. And if you found this video useful, please give it a like. It's completely free to do and really helps out me on my channel. If you're interested in getting involved with what videos I make next, click that subscribe button and get voting in the polls in the meantime. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.